36 months with
Stand by
1969
A,
due at
5
signing. Plus get Toyota Care with complimentary maintenance and roadside assistance.
Roll A.
Officials from Hereford, the ATF, and Amarillo Bomb Squad all try to find out why this school vehicle exploded, causing the death of a school employee. Plus, taking a stand against STAR requirements. Hear which area lawmaker is making the push.
Yet another storm system is headed to the Panhandles with a cold front that will move in on Friday. And guess what? More rain's in the forecast. I'll tell you all about it coming up.
And one local woman said enough is enough. She dropped more than 8
Stand by 1.
pounds in less than a year. We'll show you how she did it. The KCIT Fox 14 News at 9 starts now.
And cue.
Hi,
Stand by
everyone.
2 for notes.
Us 1 hour earlier. I'm Kelly James. A
Two's
Hereford
up.
man is killed when his work truck explodes. Now, law enforcement, including the ATF and the Amarillo Bomb Squad, are trying to figure out whether it was an accident.
Stand by B for the
KCIT
package.
Fox 14's Chris Martin was in Hereford this morning. He has the latest on the investigation. It's first on Fox tonight.
He went out to his truck to warm it up like he normally does every day.
Called out to investigate. So far, they
10
say there are
seconds.
no
Pull right
signs
to a
of
graphic
foul play.
next.
To cover all possibilities, even the Amarillo Bomb Squad was brought out to help. Reporting in Hereford, Chris Martin, KCIT Fox 14 News at 9.
Graphics up.
Now, this pickup was parked at Barrett's house, not on school property. Here's a look at where the explosion happened inside the town of Hereford. Tommy Barrett was 56-year-old. The cause of that explosion, again, still under investigation. A Pampa man is behind
by the
bars
half
in
graph.
Arizona, charged with sexually assaulting a child. A warrant was
Graphics up.
issued for 63-year-old Robert Franz last month. He faces 1 count of indecency with the child. Franz was arrested in Maricopa County, Arizona, yesterday. A grand jury says Amarillo Police Corporal Toby Hudson is clear of any wrongdoing during a standoff last week in East Amarillo. As we first reported, 31-year-old Brandon Don Albritton had police locked in a standoff at the Super 8 Motel on I-40 at Nelson. Police were checking out a tip when Albritton slammed the door on them. Then he threw a rifle out the window. Police tell us Albritton then leaned out of that window and pointed a gun at Officer Hudson, who shot at him.
Run it. Roll B.
And the grand jury has found no wrongdoing on behalf of the SWAT team member involved in firing 1 round. The Mr. Britton was indicted by the grand jury for aggravated assault on a peace officer.
No one was injured. Albritton is facing a charge of aggravated assault on a police officer. Our records show this is the 3rd time that Corporal Hudson has shot at a suspect in the past 10 years. He was no-billed by the grand jury every time.
One's up.
Wind out there.
Stand John by.
A little nippy tonight. Fox 1 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist John Harris joins us now. And John, it's a change in the weather coming our way.
John's up.
Indeed, you bet, Kelly. I tell you what, today was a windy and cold day, markedly different from yesterday for Valentine's Day when we topped out close to 70. Now we're tracking yet another storm system that will be here by tomorrow night, and lo and behold, on Friday we may be talking about more rain and snow. Now currently outside, the winds have subsided now that the sun is set, but there's still a chill in the air. We have partly cloudy skies in the Texas Panhandle, 33 in Amarillo, 34 for you folks at Borger, 43 at Childress, and we're freezing in Guyman at 32.
Stand by 1 for primary.
So you bet. Get ready for possibly more rain and snow on Friday. And what about the weather for the weekend? I'll let you know in a few minutes. Let's send it back over to Kelly.
Kelly's up.
Thank you, John. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Stand by A.
May have another date for the Republican presidential primary. The San Antonio judge today ruled May 29th is now the earliest Texas voters could possibly go to the polls. Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott and several Hispanic and African American groups are trying to reach a deal on new congressional and Texas House districts.
Roll it.
People negotiating in goodwill, in good faith. Okay. Because not everyone is.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Kim.
The state was originally scheduled for a primary on Super Tuesday, and it was pushed back to April 3rd. We'll see if this new date will indeed hold.
Two's up.
We've been hearing about it for years now. The STAR test is almost here. And one of the most controversial requirements for high schoolers taking it is the test will count for 15% of the course grade. But as KCIT Fox 14's Adam Bennett shows us,
for the package.
One state lawmaker from the area is trying to put the brakes on that 15% rule, at least this year.
Roll it.
If you have kids in school, chances are you've heard about the STAR test.
Without having to worry about
10 seconds. Stand by, newsroom. We're coming up
that
next.
letter, and we're waiting to hear from House members to see if they concur.
The TEA says they expect that letter Friday.
Cue 'em.
And the TEA says once the commissioner gets that letter from the House, the decision is his. The big issue is, can he legally defer the rule? But they say more than likely he will be able to.
Stand by the boxes.
They are expecting that to take place. Reporting live in the newsroom.
Boxes
Adam
up.
Bennett,
Stand by
KCIT,
2.
Fox 14 News at 9. Kelly.
All right, thank you, Adam. By the way, we
Two's
did
up.
contact the Amarillo Independent School District for comment.
That's one
However,
next
they
for the
did not
T's. Stand by
return
1.
our calls.
One's up.
Well, 17 students find themselves in handcuffs
Roll B.
instead of classrooms. We'll tell you which Texas university has been hit with a
Stand John
huge
by.
drug bust. But first, let's check back in with John.
John's up.
And thank you very much, Kelly. We're checking
Stand
out
by
our
A.
next system that moves in on Friday. The latest details in a moment.
Roll A.
The WT football team hit the field today for their first spring practice.
Stand by VS.
We will hear from Coach Cardinal coming up in sports.
And dissolve play.
Yes. Emergency
Standing
liquidation
by.
ready to
What's
Sunday.
next?
Tri-State Exposition at Amarillo.
Zoom it.
Now, Chief Meteorologist John Harris.
And cue.
You know, I was out earlier tonight, John. The temperature didn't feel bad, but it's that wind. It was a little nippy.
That's right, the wind chill. You know, you have the warmth, and then the wind comes along and takes that warmth away from your skin and gives you that chill. So you bet that makes it feel like February. Now, tomorrow the weather will be nice, light winds, and then on Friday, here comes yet another storm system. So get ready, there will be something falling from the sky.
Just to ruin our weekend.
Well, at least the Friday portion of it. All right, let's show you what we have going on right now. It is a quiet night in the 40s, but great news for your Sunday. Warmer weather moves back in. We'll see a high of 57 degrees on Monday for President's Day. Windy and dry, a high of 60 for Tuesday will continue mild at 57, and even for midweek next week. How about 58
Stand by
degrees?
1.
Get the moisture while we can, but again, it looks like overall very mild.
One's up.
Well, and you
Stand by
mentioned
2
earlier,
for
it's like,
notes,
oh,
yes.
a taste of February. I went, what a novel concept in February.
Without a doubt. Who knows? Next week we may get a taste of May.
If we get July, then I'm going to be
time to
really,
change this,
really upset.
Jan?
We'll do a story over.
Yes, it will be our top story.
Indeed.
You can bet that. Thank you, John.
Okay.
A major
Two's
drug
up.
bust has won
Stand by
Texas
B.
College in the national spotlight now.
Roll B.
17 students at Texas Christian University were arrested early this morning in a drug raid. The TCU police chief, Steve McGee, says they're accused of selling a wide
Stand by
range
A
of
for a bite.
narcotics to undercover cops.
Roll it.
During the operation, the drugs that these drug dealers were actually selling, they included marijuana, cocaine, Molly, which is a powdered form of ecstasy, ecstasy pills, acid, and prescription drugs, which include but not limited to Xanax, hydrocodone, and 3 different types of oxymorphone, which is similar to the highly addictive painkiller Oxycontin.
At least 2 fraternity members and 4 football players
Stand by
were
1
among
for the
those
T's.
charged. Officials say the investigation is ongoing and more arrests are possible.
One's up.
A lack of
Stand
one
by B.
prescription drug is causing concern in Oklahoma.
Roll B for bite.
Children will die because they cannot get
Stand by
methadone.
A. Roll A.
Find out who will be affected. Plus, shedding the weight. We hear the
Stand by
secrets
VS.
of this woman's weight loss success coming up.
And dissolve play.
Yes.
Standing by. Opens next.
You're watching Kelly James. This is the KCIT Fox 14 News at 9.
And cue 'em.
Well, it's the battle that no one really wants to fight. Stepping on the scale, trying to burn off that bulge. Weight gain can be depressing and discouraging. However, as KCIT
Stand by
Fox
A for
14's Morgan
package.
Shutter shows us, there's one Amarillo woman who has finally won the ultimate prize, and she says that you, too, can do it.
Roll it.
Lindy Wilkinson tried everything. Nothing worked. To
5
whatever weight
seconds.
loss
Stand by 2 for
program
the
you
tag.
choose is consistency.
It's absolutely changed my life.
Morgan Shutters, KCIT Fox 14 News at 9.
And cue 'em.
Very nice. Good for you. Health experts say eliminating just one vice from your diet, such as candy, could save you at least 300 calories a
We'll
day.
stay here for the T's. Stand
Moms
by
and
B.
dads with kids off to college.
Roll it.
Want to stick around? Got some great advice on what steps
Stand
you
by
should
A.
take if your college-bound kid
Roll A.
catches the flu. And trying to fight a sinus infection,
Stand by the graphic.
some docs say an antibiotic, not going to help. And Curtis Pliant of Amarillo has taken the
Stand by B.
KCIT Fox 14 pledge to not text and drive.
Roll it.
You can do the same. It's at
Stand by VS.
notextexas.com.
And dissolve and play.
Hospital at Northwest Texas offers a 7.
Why Haverty's?
Health Matters
Because
is next. Stand by
97%
one.
of customers say so.
And cue.
If you're a mom, you probably know what to do if your kid gets sick at home. But what about when they're miles away at a dorm room? Dr. Sue Hubbard has some tips to
Stand by
help
B.
the college student fight the flu.
Roll it.
She's the kid's doctor.
If you have a college-age child who's living away from home,
10 seconds. Stand by one for tag.
Send it. They'll appreciate it when they need it, and maybe it'll save you that phone call home. I'm Dr. Sue with a Kids Doctor, helping parents take charge.
And cue him. Stand by B.
Chocolate chip cookies for a sick kid? Greatest mom ever, I'm thinking. By the way, don't forget to remind them to visit the Student Health Center if they're not feeling better within a couple of days. You can get more from the Kids
Stand by
Doctor.
2. Stand by A. Roll A.
MyHighPlains.com.
2's up.
A drug used to treat leukemia could run out in just a few weeks, putting thousands of lives at risk. 8-month-old Elena Schoenvelds
Those pinchable cheeks.
disease, and she depends on a cocktail of chemotherapy drugs to stay
Stand
alive.
by B for a bite.
And a crucial drug, methotrexate, is running out due to a national drug shortage. Dr. John Ramirez of OU Medical Center says his hospital only has a 2-month supply of the medication left.
Roby.
This is a real crisis. Unless something dramatic changes in the next few weeks, myself and other physicians and nurses on this very unit are going to need to look parents in the eye and say, we don't have methotrexate. We're going to do something else.
For a second and wipe
that's
the
not
A
as
next.
good.
Stand by A.
And I'm sorry.
The drug shortage doesn't only apply to methotrexate. 28 cancer drugs taken by more than 500,000 patients
Roll
in
A.
short supply. If you get a sinus infection, you may just want to wait it out. A new study finds getting a prescription for antibiotics likely will not do you any good. Researchers looked at more than 100
Be out to one next for the T. Stand by one.
They gave some an antibiotic, others got a placebo. After 3 days, researchers say the people who took the antibiotic felt no better than those who took the placebo.
One's up.
A new
Stand by
Randy
B.
Travis video has been
Roll it.
released. Before you get excited, it's not highlighting
Stand
any
by
single.
A.
Check out this dash cam.
Roll it.
Plus, we sit down with the founder of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Stand by VS.
Find out what he thinks of Amarillo.
And dissolve and play.
Would you like dinner at VO Bistro?
10 seconds. We'll be out to a cold open in A. Stand by A.
Local news video and the Fox Warn Severe Storm Team forecast anytime you want at myhighplains.com.
Roll A.
You're gonna go to jail for public intoxication.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, sir. I'm not gonna kid you.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
It's not kidding, apparently. You've heard the Randy Travis song, I Told You So?
Stand by
We're
one.
seeing how that's now the tune of the Sanger Police Department. That's
One's
coming
up.
But first,
Stand
for
by
many
B.
years, a staple to the holiday season has rocked the hallowed halls of the Amarillo Civic Center. But what do those of us who are big fans of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra's rock theater do during the spring months? Megan Collier knows. Understand she has some exciting news. Yes?
Roby.
Lucky for you, they are just starting the final leg of their spring tour and joining us today.
Psyched to be back, Megan. Take care. God bless.
We'll wipe to the graphic.
By the way, I'm not getting paid anything, but let me tell you, that's a great show. You can catch TSO March 25th at the Civic Center.
Stand by 2, stand by A for an OTS
You can get
video.
your tickets at panhandletickets.com.
Roll A.
A memorial to Whitney Houston growing outside a Newark, New Jersey church tonight. Flowers, cards, and balloons to Houston are being left outside the New Hope Baptist Church. It was the church where Houston began singing as a young girl. It will also be the place where a private funeral service will be held for the star on Saturday.
Stand by 2 for another
Houston's body
OTS.
was flown back to New Jersey from California.
2's up.
Sanger, Texas police have released the dashcam video of country music star Randy Travis's
Stand by B.
arrest earlier
Roll
this
it.
month. Officers arrested Travis on suspicion of being drunk after spotting his vehicle parked in front of a church. Police said they couldn't verify
Stand by
Travis's
A for the mega teams.
identity at the time because he wasn't carrying any ID on him. Officers say there was an open bottle of wine and Travis reeked of alcohol.
Roll A.
Lawmakers in Washington have ironed out new details in the payroll tax cut extension.
But there's going to be some that unfortunately do slip through and may never get taken off of the roll.
Cleaning up our registered voters list might be harder than once thought.
More instability is moving in from the west. It will arrive on Friday with a chance for a rain-snow mix. The latest details coming up.
Both WT basketball teams were looking to extend their winning streaks tonight. I'll let you know how they did coming up in sports.
The KCIT Fox 14 News at 9 continues next.
And the Dolphin play.
Would you like dinner at VO Bistro?
10 seconds out.
Miss
No
Bell's
open.
lunch buffet includes dessert and a drink for under $10.
We'll be out of
Your
this.
best
Stand by.
online source for local weather. MyHighPlains.com.
And cue 'em.
Well, the cold wind back tonight. Of course, it's February in the Panhandle. We never know what our weather's going to be, John. Unless we listen to you, of course.
Thank you. It goes back and forth. Now, tomorrow we get back to light winds and very pleasant weather, relatively speaking. And then on Friday, we're tracking yet another storm system, so it looks like we'll end the work week with a chance for a little bit of rain and snow. Hopefully nothing accumulating.
Sure. Well, it's good to have it, though.
Without a doubt. Let's show you what we have going on tonight, Kelly. This is our Ashley Furniture Camera. Week ahead forecast looks this way for the city of Amarillo.
Two's clear.
On your Friday, here comes our next storm system. So we are throwing in a 30% chance for a rain/snow mix. Heavy on the rain, light on the snow. No accumulations expected as of right now. But the chance for moisture will continue into Saturday morning, clearing out during the afternoon. 40s will continue on Friday and
Stand by
Saturday.
one.
For Sunday, it will be windy and warmer. Highs approaching 60, the same for President's Day on Monday. For Tuesday, we're at 57, and for next Wednesday, 58 degrees. But, you know, today,
One's up.
the month is half over.
We'll stay here for emergency alert.
Right, and it's 29 days this month.
It is. We have the leap year going this year, so yeah. So if you have a birthday on the 29th, happy birthday.
I know
for the
some
first time
people
in 4
who
years.
are turning, they're turning 6 this year. They're in their 20s, so good for them. All right.
Dog years? I don't know. Maybe not.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
By the way, there's a new way to
Stand by
stay up to date about any severe weather in
Roll
our
it.
area. Besides John, we're also teaming up with the Panhandle Planning Commission to send out
Stand by B.
emergency alerts.
Roll
You
it.
can sign up to get a phone call, an email, or a text message.
Stand by one for the T's.
Just go to myhighplains.com.
One's up.
Payroll tax
Stand by A
cuts,
for a
so
bite.
both sides actually started working together and struck a deal.
Roll it.
Certainly is in the detail of any final deal.
Stand by the travel cast.
Find out what the new agreement details coming up next.
Graphics up.
And let's check out your travel cast for tomorrow, Kelly. It looks like nice weather. If you're headed downstate, there may be a thunderstorm or two.
Stand by
From
BS.
Houston back over for Brownsville, temperatures will be running mainly in the 50s and 60s.
And dissolve and play.
In 1976, Millard and Linda Fuller saw the home.
5 seconds. We'll be out of this.
We
Stand by
know
2 for an
local weather.
OTS.
MyHighPlains.com.
And cue 'em.
Lawmakers have hammered out a tentative deal to extend the payroll tax cut, which will
Stand by
affect
A.
anyone in the country who
Roll it.
gets a paycheck. The tentative compromise extends the 2% cut in the payroll tax through the end of the year, saving about 160 million Americans anywhere from $700 to $2,300 annually. It also prevents a March 1st expiration of unemployment benefits for the long-term jobless, but the maximum number of
Stand by
weeks
B for
of
a bite.
benefits will be cut from 99 to 73 weeks by the end of the year.
Roll it.
We would, of course, prefer the 99 weeks, et cetera. But whatever happens, ultimately will be a matter of discussion.
Here ready for a mic check
We're not
whenever
going
you're
to
ready.
allow the Democrats to continue to play political games and raise taxes on working Americans.
The deal,
Tell him
expected
to
to
turn
be
his
approved
mic
by
on.
Friday, will add about $100 billion to the federal deficit. The rest of the cost will be offset by the auctioning of broadcast airwaves to wireless companies and a requirement of federal workers
Stand by
to
one.
contribute more to their pensions.
One's up.
Millions of dead voters
Stand by
are
A.
still registered. As KCIT Fox 14's Morgan Shutters reports, Potter County election officials say that's something that's hard to prevent.
Roll it.
Nearly 2
All these
million
CGs
registered
are
voters
NBC.
across the country won't be at the line. The
5
easier it will
seconds.
be to
Stand
make
by
sure
one.
errors of this kind don't happen. In Amarillo, Morgan Shutters, KCIT Fox 14 News at 9.
One's up.
Potter County election officials say they've also had a lot of questions about
Stay
voter
here for the
registration
T's.
cards that actually expired December 31st. No one has one right now. Those new cards will be sent out once the state approves pending redistricting lines.
Let's resume.
The WT football team, that's right, football. Are you ready for it? They hit the
Roll B.
field for spring ball today. Coming up in sports, hear what
Stand
Coach
by
Cardinal
VS.
has to say about what the Buffs hope to accomplish during the spring.
And dissolve and play.
The KCIT Fox 14 Tower Cam is brought
160. Great vehicles, no hassle buying.
It opens next. Stand by 2.
Service. That's Amarillo Hyundai.
And now sports with Michael Spencer.
And cue him.
Football season is already here. What you say? Okay, well, not really,
But
but spring football is here. Less than 2 weeks after National Signing Day, the Buffs hit the practice field today for the start of spring ball. WT is coming off a season in which the team went 7-3, finished 3rd in the Lone Star Conference, and beat Central Missouri in the Kansas Bowl. The offense is in good shape and will return 9 of 11 starters. Britton Golden and Hector Rodriguez, the only 2 players who won't be back for WT this year. At practice today, Coach Carter talked about what he and his coaching staff are looking for this spring.
Roll it.
Spring ball is always a lot of fun for coaches. Hopefully it'll be a lot of fun for the players. You know, a lot of these young guys redshirted last year. All they did was scout team. They're fighting for a job right now. They're trying to get on the bus to go to Pueblo in August. And so it's going to be fun to watch all the competition.
Probably a little bit too chilly outside today
We'll
to
wipe
call it
the graphic next.
spring ball. But nevertheless, WT's maroon and white game will be on March the 8th. Kickoff of that game is set for 7 p.m. at Kimbrough Memorial Stadium. The Buffs will start the regular season with a Thursday night game in Pueblo, Colorado.
We'll be out the 2 first. Stand by 2.
Both WT basketball teams were looking to continue their winning streaks tonight. And Commerce a good place to continue the winning streaks because Commerce is pretty terrible. WT women got the win. The WT men, there you see it, up by 10 at the 12-minute timeout in the second half.
Relay.
To the NBA we go. The Spurs on an 8-game winning streak of their own. How about Tony Parker? He's played a large part in that. Finds Danny Green there. Free ball, corner pocket, money. Spurs up 8-0 early. Then Spurs defense leading to offense. Richard Jefferson with the steal, the layup at the other end, 16-8.
We'll have a score then
San
wipe to B
Antonio.
next.
How about Manu Ginobili in transition? Spurs glad to have him back for the rodeo road trip. Nobody decided to pick him up there, so Manu's going to take it in uncontested. He had 11 points in 20 minutes. Oh, man. Last couple seconds of the first quarter, Leandro Barbosa, the former Phoenix Sun, somehow gets that one to go for 3. But it wouldn't matter. 6 Spurs players were in double figures, including Tony Parker. He had 34. Spurs win 113-106. Dallas hosting Denver. Corey Brewer back in town getting his championship ring. And then Sean Marion says, hey, Brewer, welcome back. Floats that one over the former Mav, Rudy Fernandez. Also a former Mav, now playing for the Denver Nuggets. 3-ball, corner pocket, money. Dallas was up early in this one. Rudy trying to keep the Nuggets in it, but unfortunately for him, the Mavs have a guy by the name of Dirk. He kisses that one off the glass, and then if some Dirk is mugged by Al Harrington on the baseline, floats it up and in. Tough to stop that one. Harrington did about all he could, and then Brewer, okay, welcome back. We'll give him the 3 slam dunk there on the fast break, but then Brandon Wright, he's been throwing it down a lot lately, and he's going to finish that one. And the Mavs finishing this one with 6 minutes to go in the fourth. They're up by about $1 million. Houston hosting Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder. How about Kevin Martin knocking down the 3-pointer? Houston up 11 at that point. Then Kyle Lowry on the drive, going to kick it back to the aforementioned Martin. He would
zoom in just a little bit too.
He had 32 points in this one.
There's a Fox running around the station parking lot.
We'll have a score then be out to Cubs next.
Oklahoma City Thunder gets in, kicks it to Nick Collison. Collison finishes with the flush. OKC down by just 8 at that point, and then Westbrook making it 5 with the 3-pointer. But Kevin Martin was too much tonight. 4 3-pointers. We showed you 3 of them, including that one, and Houston wins it just barely 96-95. The final in that one. Kelly, you could knock a few 3-pointers down in the day, right?
Making it rain like Kelly James.
This will be a generic tease.
It's got a good ring to it.
I like it. Thank you, Michael.
One's up.
Stay with us.
Stand by
Jonathan, we'll look
VS.
at your forecast when we come back.
And dissolve and play.
Like KAMR NBC4 on Facebook, and you can
10 seconds.
Fox. Prime rib and all the fixins at Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
We'll be out of this.
Your best
John, bye.
online source for local weather. MyHighPlains.com.
Cue him.
Everybody, and welcome back. Tomorrow morning we'll start off on a chilly note, a low of 25, but not too bad during the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, light southeast winds, a high of 50 on Friday. We are calling for a rain-snow mix moving in during the afternoon.
1 minute in the show.
Some minor accumulations.
Stand by one for the
It will be a
Tinties.
chilly day, 47. It's the same on Saturday. Windy and warmer on Sunday at 57, and for President's Day, not bad. How about 60 degrees? We'll send it over to Kelly and Jackie.
What's up?
I'm getting some company tonight. Jackie Kingston joining us now with a special report on something we don't normally think it could be a problem.
Stand by A.
Human trafficking.
That's right. You know, Kelly, a couple of years ago, we were able to bring the story about human trafficking initially and some of the numbers and how it happens. So this year, we wanted to revisit that and find out about how our numbers compare now to how we did back then, and find out what happens when people who want out in Amarillo and what help that we can offer those victims. We'll run through all of that information tonight on KAMR.
Stand by one.
It's our sister station in just a couple of minutes.
One's up.
I'll be watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. Let's
You
go
flip to the downtown cam, please.
Until then, you can stay up on the latest at myhighplains.com. Have a good one.
And dissolve and play.